Spill your heart instead of the liquor. Darling, your fridge still totals 12 beers. I know because I counted. And your smile still remains plastered on your face. Inject my veins, infect my soul, allow me to become fluid, drink me senseless. I look the other way if you tumbled, as if you never did. Never poured that drink, never made out with that poison. It has happened too many times before. I wouldn't blame you if you did. I tend to drive the calm crazy. I am no drug, no craving, no longing sensation. I am the cause, no the reason, though you'd beg to differentiate. I am well aware, well cautious, in my cloudy state. I'd say this conquers the tendency to want to believe you. Then again, who believes a drunk? You won't know every single thing there is to know about everything. And I know you understand that everyone has their own story, locked away behind sealed lips and shut diaries. But girl, I bet you didn't know that the girl 4 seats beside you was manipulated and staying, no matter the gut feeling she had about him. Girl, take this but don't run with it. The girl who uploads a new selfie every week has insecurities and hasn't felt okay in her own skin since puberty. Girl, try to understand that the girl to my left is too ashamed to tell her own friends that she already lost her virginity. And girl, don't be too quick to judge when you find out that the girl 2 rows behind you got an STD last year. But realize she has no family and seeking love and acceptance is the only thing she's ever dreamed of. It is easy to grasp the concept of not passing judgment, but how easy is it to apply it? Don't get me wrong, without judgment there would be no opinions, and a world without opinions would be dulling. And trying to find your independence would be impossible, but acceptance should be a bright pink post-it placed upon your forehead. Ignorance should be crumpled up papers overflowing in recycle bins. Girl, learn to swallow your own pride before trying to chew on someone else's. These are my hands. These hands hold nothing, but my mind reminds them that your warmth used to wrap my fingers closer together. Reminded them that they didn't need to carry any more baggage, not because you ever offered to carry my bags, but because in your temporary presence, things seemed to disappear. My problems would vanish. You were an illusionist with a poker player face, angled cheekbones that never dared turn away, and eyes that never once blinked in the time it took for you to convince me that my suspicions of you and her were wrong. These are my legs that straddled you in filthy bedsheets, the same legs that would keep me awake at night, moving restlessly as I waited for you to return home, in which you never did. Your door hasn't been opened in weeks, though her door has barely remained shut. I never believed people when they said, "You won't realize what you have till it's gone." Like a picture framed squared up on the wall, you know it's there, but rarely do you admire it. And when it's gone, you seem to recognize the emptiness more than the picture that once hung there. I hadn't had this realization until 2 weeks after the breakup, if you can even call it that, more like a makeup in the bedsheets left in tangles. It was the sort of pain left over from ass-grabbing, hair-pulling, slam you down, crawl on top of you sort of pain. I say bittersweet, you say good while it lasted. You called me master, and I mistaked it for masterpiece. My best day ever? When I awake as if the sky never grew witness to dark grays, and the peeling wallpaper in the living room doesn't bear witness your intoxicated state. It will be the moment you decide to actually find your soul. Today, mine leaked on pages I've torn and crumbled up with desperate fingers. It's a start. I wish for this day on falling eyelashes, drowning pennies, when I awake as if the weight I've held on my shoulders never left long-term damages, and the mother she never was no longer a fantasy I've dreamt of one too many times. It's a glimpse of what could be. My best day ever may be wrongly testified and wrongly convicted by the opinions of others, judged and discriminated. My best day ever is envious of moments had by others, jealous of the many I love yous exchanged mouth to mouth. Desperate for the day it decides to surface itself. Saddened by the fact I know it stopped bubbling years ago. They say stay away from the arts, the musician, the poet, the observer, the girl who is too into her feelings and the boy who is too sensitive for his own well-being. I say it's the fear in the person finding out who they may actually be that came up with this theory. Too scared to realize that they may have cracks too wide to seal and leaks too big to fix. The poor guy in my English class, dressed in washed out colors, too cool for conformity, but got lost in trying to find his identity, that he became the I in hipster. To go against the majority seems to be the only way to find oneself. But we're all on this roller coaster together, wanting to get off, and if we all choose to, the only way to find oneself is to go on to the next new ride, all in hopes of being recognized as profound. I've realized it wasn't you leaving that was hard, it was me, trying to find a reason to stay here that was. When I saw you for the first time since you left, I noticed your smile. To think I had almost lost you like you had lost your father. Drugs. That word leaves me with a bitter taste. When I saw you, it felt like you had never left. Same as ever, except with longer locks of hair. I wondered, where was I? Where was I for every millimeter in between? At 3 a.m., you might overlook the things that travel in wavelengths, and you may shove them out the same ear tongues have licked. Absorbent as hands you wash clean, able to inject, unable to soak up. Fabricated lie, stitch and sewn, a veil obscure the perception of forward onlookers. You were never the one for public affection. I was a diary you kept under bed mattresses, taken out when you needed stability. A blank page, never projecting back images of judgment. Folded right-hand corners, you left me creases. Hid me away as if I was your darkest secret, and believe me, you've done worse. I found myself trying to outdo myself. Those 5-inch heels impressed everyone in the 4-cornered room. Those 3 men you spoke to couldn't keep their eyes off me. But that didn't matter to you, and by the end of the night, 2 feet tall is the way you made me feel.